For every time you enjoyed the amazing world of Gumball, there are several characters who were eliminated, removed, or even forgotten. Characters are almost ever in the series, and sometimes certain people get deleted or even omitted without you paying attention to it. These are some of the characters that vanished from Tawag.
And it is my duty to inform you that enemy is Anais. What? You just nodded.
Tina Rex's father. Tina Rex's dad happens to be one of the few characters in the series who appeared once and was never seen again. The Rex family is one of the unusual families that lives in Elmore. Tina, who is a giant dinosaur bully, has a mother and sister who are all active as a family, but the father barely exists in the series. Mr. Rex made his appearance into the series in The Bump. Season 2, Episode 16. He looked more hyper-realistic in character than his daughter Tina, who looks more like a 3D polygon style. And his appearance in the series was when Gumball and Darwin tried to uplift the spirit of Principal Brown, who was down. But the duo's idea was for Principal Brown to stand next to Mr. Rex at the local junkyard. But upon his appearance, he ended up chasing the kids and Principal Brown in a tense way. Mr. Rex was also technically in Season 1, Episode 10 of The Quest, as a shadow, but not so many people realize this. And unlike every other family in Elmore, the Rex family lives in the junkyard, while Mr. Rex sleeps on the pile of cars when we get to see him active in the series. But here comes the twist. In Season 4 of the routine episode, Tina made it known that her dad was hiding in the closet because he was simply terrified of Nicole's wrath. Idaho's original personality. A quick flashback to Season 1 of The Amazing World of Gumball. During that period, Idaho was more of a different character compared to what he later became in the series. His situation was not a total disappearance of character, but a change of character. Idaho the Potato was established as rude, aggressive, and largely insensitive before he was transformed to a sweet, old-fashioned country boy. During the early season of the series, the creators simply used him as a comedic catalyst mainly for conflict. In Season 1, we noticed he was nonchalant about anyone's feelings. And that was quite obvious in the Jai episode. And in the Pressure episode, despite being a potato, he was so full of ego. While being arrogant and vain, in this episode, there was a commentary about boys and girls teasing themselves about dating Idaho. But he goes ahead to brag that he is not worried about girls because he is too beautiful for any of them to handle. But to crown it all, he was also a rebellious character before he was totally transformed into the country boy.
Why would I be upset? I'm not the same potatoes as he eat in the canteen. Are you saying that all potatoes look the same?
Say no.
No? I'm gonna go see Darwin.
Leslie's original importance. Right from the inception of the series, Leslie the Potted Flower was meant to play a bigger and a completely different role in the show. His importance was mainly tied to Penny Fitzgerald's as a cousin and the main catalyst to Gumball intense jealousy. In Season 1, Leslie was intended to be more of a recurring romantic foil, because at this stage, Gumball didn't realize Leslie and Penny were cousins. He was expected to constantly misinterpret their closeness for something else, which led to schemes like win Penny back or sabotage Leslie. In Season 1, Episode 17 of The Party, the creator had established a solid ground for the rightful dramatic turn. But by Season 2, the creators realized that direction could keep Gumball stuck in a perpetual state of jealousy and might make the series less interesting in the long run. Immediately, the jealousy angle was dropped, and we saw a significant change in Leslie's character. He became more of a background student and a member of the school cheerleading squad. He went on to become that character that was known when friends needed to hear the brutal and honest truth. His role was now more of a chic and gossip-loving character. Who gets to hang out more with girls? Penny, Terry, and Carmen.
Buddy?
Don't you usually have lunch with Darwin?
Oh, he had other plans. Something to do with me going too far, people getting hurt, that sort of thing.
So you're not eating?
Oh, sure I am.
Clayton's fall from major character to background resident. Talk about that character who went from a central plot to becoming a resident background character. Clayton is the right one. At first, he was that red clay ball who could easily shape-shift, and was positioned as a major supporting character with solid, deep psychological themes. But towards the end of that season, he got fewer dialogues. In Season 1 of the GI, he went on to act as a major role alongside the likes of Darwin and Gumball. Together, they navigated the school social hierarchy. And fast forward to Season 2 of The Skull. Clayton was given the opportunity to drive the entire plot, and himself and Gumball went on to accidentally destroy the school locker room. Their collaboration was quite interesting, as it had more fun and more chaos at the same time. And by season 3 of the Move episode, this was his definitive episode. By this time, the series went on to reveal why he lies and why he hates himself. While he preferably loves to project himself into other people at the expense of his own self. But immediately after season 3, there was a switch in his character. His character went from notable screen time to barely few screen appearances. He went from being a part of the inner circle of both Darwin and Gumball to a gag enabler. And as time went on, the gag part of him was drastically reduced. He stopped hanging out with the main characters and became a shadow of himself in the series, where he was confronted by Darwin and Gumball of his pathological lying behavior.
Ah, perfect. The playground is full of girls.
How are we gonna get him down there without the teachers noticing?
We need something cunning, something clever, something subtle.
The early background students. During the early season of The Amazing World of Gumball, the hallways of Elmore High were quite different than it is across other subsequent seasons. In Season 1, students who get to appear in Elmore High were always span across hallways, the school assembly, and at cafeteria scenes. But one thing was quite noticeable. These student characters barely had dialogue, nor even barely exist later in other scenes in the series. And by the time the series progressed to Season 2, the creators were more intentional about introducing characters who fit into scenes within and out of Elmore High. One of the notable popular early students characters were Rachel Wilson, who was the older student who gets to throw school theme parties, and after Season 1, she simply disappeared with no traces. On the other hand, Blue Elephant and Ali went on to become frozen backgrounders. They were stripped of dialogues and became more of a moving scenery. Elmore High moved on without carrying along some of the founding characters in her hallway.
Hello, friend. Now tell me, are you alpha or are you no?
Neither, kid. The lack of daylight stunted every bone.
And is this color made from lemonade and fairy dust?
It's gasoline and arsenic and latex, lead, and rust.
Hey!
Gumballers, the time has come to make attendance. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now. Don't forget to like and share the video.
How come you don't have a girlfriend?
What do I need a girlfriend for?
This. Mwah.
Molly Collins. If there was anyone who had the amazing world of Gumball in chokehold with their disappearance, it is no doubt Molly. Molly is one of the unique characters in the series. For every scene, every episode, and every season she was in, she became one of the driving forces that brought more spice to the series despite lots of people categorizing her as boring earlier on. Right in Season 1, she was part of the staple of Elmore High students. She was one of the prominent members of the Tree Club house alongside Penny and Carmen. Although her earlier character was dim, sweet, and forceful storyteller, which made many see her as boring. There were no conflicts or suspenseful moments during her Season 1. Fast forward to Season 2, something strange occurred. Despite the screen time received earlier, this time she was totally missing from Elmore and was later discovered to have been banished to the Void, and her disappearance went on to bring about a plot twist in the series. By Season 3, Episode 12 of The Void, Gumball and Darwin were able to discover that Molly was missing as a result of the school photos. Upon their investigation, they discovered the Void, and the incident went on to cause a spiral incident and twist to the series. After she was rescued from the Void, she became more self-conscious and hyper-aware of herself. Right from Season 5, Episode 31, Molly was no longer the shrinking and boring character.
Okay, Molly, we just have to get back through that big hole and we're home.
You mean that hole over there, the one that's shrinking and almost closed?
Yes, exactly. The one that's— oh my gosh, it's closing!
The original version of Anais' friend group. Anais Watterson's total lack of friends is as a result of massive running gag throughout the entire show, but the creators of the series tried to give her an official friend group in Season 5, Episode 4 of The Guy. However, this group wasn't a natural bunch of friends. It was a highly calculated social experiment orchestrated by her mother, Nicole Watterson. Nicole went to extreme lengths to manufacture a perfect group of safe, low-drama intellectual friends for her 4-year-old genius daughter. The original set of this artificial group boiled down to 3 odd background characters: Josh, the egg, and the peanut. Josh, on one hand, was the main friend. a green humanoid kid with pink hair who famously had a completely upside-down head. Anais genuinely bonded with him over lunch, making him her first real friend in the series. But the group couldn't survive and ended up immediately collapsing. As a result of this, Anais never successfully had a male friend before. Gumball and Darwin became paranoid. They were entirely convinced that Josh was a psychopath plotting to hurt their little sister. Their chaotic meddling led to an investigation that uncovered a bizarre, dark secret. He wasn't a psychopath, but he was actually a member of a shadowy cult that worshipped an ancient entity. The symbol on his t-shirt, which Nicole thought was just a quirky design, was a literal cult emblem. Once the truth came out, the group instantly fractured.
You very funny. What is name of you?
Josh.
In my language, Josh means toilet paper. Nice meet you. This hello from motherland. What you like order?
A milkshake.
Coming right up.
Rob before the void. Long before he became the static-glitched, TV-headed main villain of the entire series, Rob was just another normal, unremarkable background student at Elmore Junior High. In fact, he was so insignificant in the early seasons that both the characters in the show and the audience barely knew he existed. In seasons 1 and 2, Rob was a blue, cycloptic humanoid character who looked like a tall, lanky, mythological creature. He was completely harmless and peaceful, often seen casually walking the hallways, sitting in the cafeteria, or hanging out in the background with characters like Rocky or Banana Joe. He had almost zero dialogue and served no purpose other than to fill up empty space in crowd scenes. His descent into erasure began in season 2. Because his design was somewhat plain compared to the hyper-creative characters being introduced, the creators quietly stopped using him. Just like Molly Collins, Rob was deemed an error by the universe and was sucked entirely into the void, the cosmic dumping ground for Elmore's forgotten mistakes. While inside the void, Rob suffered a fate worse than Molly. He was completely stripped of his original 3D model, leaving his body permanently glitched, pixelated, and deformed. When Gumball and Darwin traveled into the void to rescue Molly in season 3, Rob desperately tried to cling to their remote control to escape. Gumball inadvertently left him behind, causing Rob to mutate into the bitter, vengeful antagonist we know today.
This is Mom, are you okay?
Of course! Pain is just information that the mind can master.
So it didn't hurt then?
No, I feel great.
The forgotten residents of the void. While Molly and Rob are the most famous characters associated with the void, the cosmic dumping ground for Elmore's mistakes holds a much darker secret. It is filled with an entire graveyard of forgotten residents, background objects, and scrapped concepts that the show's creators completely erased from the series. When Gumball and Darwin venture into this glitchy dimension in season 3, viewers get a first-hand look at just how many founding elements of the show were ruthlessly discarded. Among the floating abyss of outdated 90s relics and old commercials are actual characters who used to walk the halls of Elmore Junior High. The most prominent victims found floating in the void are the remnants of early background students. Rachel Wilson's pink and blue cheerleader pom-poms can be seen drifting through the static, confirming her grim, permanent erasure from reality. Alongside her items are primitive, prototype versions of characters we still know today, such as the original, cruder 8-bit models of the pixelated game child character from season 1. The void acts as the ultimate meta junkyard for the creators' creative shifts. The tragedy of these forgotten residents is that unlike Molly, they never received a rescue mission, and unlike Rob, they never found a way to escape.
Oh, right.
Janice! 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 Janice!
The entire original Elmore. To crown the list at number 1, it isn't just a single student or a background prop that got eliminated, it is the entire original blueprint of Elmore itself. Before the amazing world of Gumball ever premiered on television, the show existed as a radically different concept that would have completely altered the series we know today. In the original 2008 pilot titled In the Rearview Mirror, Elmore wasn't a bright, colorful, chaotic suburb. Instead, it was conceptualized as a much darker, gritty, and heavily stylized world. The early designs relied on a more muted color palette. and the characters inhabited a universe that felt less like a playful cartoon sandbox and more like a surreal, experimental indie animation. Furthermore, Elmore Junior High was originally meant to be a correctional school for rejected cartoon characters. In this early version of the lore, the background students weren't just quirky citizens, they were literal outcasts from other canceled animation studios sent to Elmore to be rehabilitated. Gumball and Darwin themselves looked completely different, with Gumball sporting a much cruder, wider face and a completely different personality that leaned heavier into cynicism. When Cartoon Network greenlit the show, the creators realized this gloomy, cynical atmosphere wouldn't work for a long-running kids' comedy. They completely scrapped the correctional school premise, brightened the world's lighting, and overhauled Elmore into a chaotic, multi-medium wonderland. The original scrapped version of Elmore was completely wiped away, leaving only tiny remnants in the show's pilot reel. It stands as the ultimate forgotten casualty of an entire universe that had to be completely destroyed just so the present version of Gumball we love could exist.
You know what to do, right?
Right. Ready? Ready. Ready for what?
Never mind. Hey! T-Rex!
So the next time you grab a snack at home or open your locker or see a balloon floating in the air, just have it in mind that if it were in the amazing world of Gumball, those objects would probably be judging and talking to you. There you have it. Every character that got vanished and altered in Gumball. Until the next video, stay gumballing, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. For every time you enjoyed the amazing world of Gumball, there are several characters who were eliminated, removed, or even forgotten.